Hi guys, welcome back to the Resinator. Today I'm just going to do a simple coaster pour. This is my crystal edge mould that was made for me by Tracy at Mini Scenes GB. I'll link that in the description. And I'm just going to throw resin in and see what happens, I think. I'm not going to go with any specific plan. I've already made up some resin. I've made up, I think this is 160-ish mils of resin for this mould, and I've made up some craft resin 1-to-1. I think we will put a centre in, so I'm just gonna coat the base of this just enough to cover the bottom. I think let's give that a little bit of a move around. And I can already see bits. I've just gone over this with tape as well. Let's see if I can get them. Come on, there we go. Honestly, I don't know where they come from. Right, tiny little bit more, I think. Just want enough to cover the base. I'm going to give it a little torch, very carefully, because you don't want to burn your moulds. And then I'm going to add some crushed glass. Now I'm going with berry juice, alcohol ink from Octopus Fluids, so I might go with that for my centre. So let's see if I can do this without wrecking it. Give them a little mix. Excuse me if you can see my head. I'm never very good at getting the centre of these, so yeah, it is what it is. Let's just give that a little dab around in there. There's not very much resin in there, so and I'm not even sure if that's central, but that'll do. So I'm going to move that over a little bit and bring in my cups. Now I'm going to try and portion this out. I do need a bit for a clear push. So, because even though I haven't got a plan as such, I know I want to do a clear push. Because unless you're doing a bloom, whoops, that just went flying. Unfortunately, it was empty. I will be back in a sec. Goodness me, that could have been a major disaster, couldn't it? Okay, so let's carry on. A little bit more in there. Let's have a little bit in there. And hopefully what I've got left there will be enough for my push. Right. I am rushing a little bit now because we are heating up a little bit. This resin is getting a bit warm, so I am going to use some Black Diamond transparent resin pigment by Create and Bloom. I haven't used it in ages. It will have settled, so let's give it a stir. Now I want all these colours pretty transparent. That one, and then I'm going to start with one drop, maybe two of this. but be careful, as I've said before, with octopus fluids. I do find that sometimes the ink around the top goes all crusty, and then you end up with little bits floating around in your projects, so just be mindful of that. So that's now 5. 8. Need this to be pretty vibrant because I'm going to be putting white in as well, so obviously that will pale it down. Pale it down, is that even a thing? No. So that's now 10. Okay, I think we'll go with that. I'm just going to get a wipe and do a little bit of a wipe. That's quite bubbly, isn't it? And then this one is just going to have 1 drop of Lumino resin dye paste in it. If it ever drops off. There we go. And like when I'm doing blooms, I want this white to be like skimmed milk. You should be able to still see my stick through there. Yeah, and there's no streaks either, so that should be good to go as well. Let's move these and give myself a little bit of space. And bring this in. Okay, so I'm just going to randomly start with the black. Could have done with a little bit more clear there actually. Let's see if I can just get a bit there. That's better. Should have spotted that. Right, so I'm just gonna pinch the cup and then gently spiral pour all the way around to the centre and then all the way back out again, and I'm just going to keep going I think until I've run out. I don't know whether you can see it because it's not, obviously I didn't make this very dark. This could end up just a great big mess. In fact, it's probably going to end up a great big mess. But it's important to have fun when you're doing art. And I think sometimes when you do YouTube, you tend to sometimes take yourself a little bit too seriously. And I do try not to do that. How much of this have I got left? Right, this one's nearly done. So we'll go back out. Okay. Decisions. Do I want colour or white? Let's go with the colour. It's the same again. Just going to pinch it. This one's a bit more full, so I better be careful. And just go all the way in a spiral. I'm really rubbish at pouring things like this. I have no idea if these colours are going to combine and do anything, or you know, anything like that as it all moves to the middle, but we'll see, I guess. And then lastly the white. Right, just as well that's run out, because I haven't got much room here now for my push, so ooh, just, and hopefully that will close back up, but we'll see. We will see. Okay, so I'm just gonna torch out some of those bubbles. There's some in the middle of there that aren't ready to come up yet, but we'll see what happens. I really hope that middle closes. Something's happening here already though, so that's good. Hopefully those bubbles rise and I can get them. Oh yeah, they are coming up now. Alright, well, I might just leave the camera on it for a couple of minutes and see what happens. So it's doing something as it's moving in, but I don't know what. Got no idea. But I'm not sure that the centre's going to close up any more than that. I can't see it moving anymore, but I don't know. Maybe I'll come back to it in an hour and see what it's doing. This is ready to demould now, and as you can see, it didn't close all the way. Just to recap, we used berry juice, alcohol ink from Octopus Fluids, black diamond transparent resin paste from Create and Bloom, and Limino white resin dye paste. So I'm not very optimistic about this, to be fair, but as the title suggests, is it a fail if you didn't have a plan? So I guess we'll have a look. I can see some nice little sort of wispy bits of the black diamond in there, but let's have a look. So let's move those out of the way a second. Okay, here goes. Oh, now that's interesting. Now it really is a shame that that didn't close up, because the swirly patterns around the middle I don't know how to explain that, but I'm going to bring it up so you can see. Look at those swirly patterns. Over poured a little bit there, but that'll trim out. That's interesting. But it is a shame it didn't close up, because I think it actually would look pretty awesome. I might try that again. I might try that again with a thinner resin to see if that, and less of a push actually. I think what probably did it was too much of a push. Just to see if I can get that to close up and get that same effect, because that is really cool. So is it a fail if you don't have a plan? I don't think so. I actually really like that, and I probably will try that again. So if you like what I'm doing, please pop a like on the video and subscribe to the channel. It's a couple of little clicks, it's free, and it really helps me grow the channel. Links to everything that I've used in this project will be down in the description, along with links to my Amazon wishlist and to buy me a coffee, and also the buttons to join the channel as a member and the super thanks buttons. Everything that comes in from those goes straight back into the channel, and I just want to thank all of you members for supporting me in that way. You guys are awesome and you keep the channel going. Thank you to all of my subscribers. I really appreciate each and every one of you and the support you give me by watching, liking, sharing and commenting. You guys are fantastic. All that's left to say is thank you everyone, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care. Bye.